Yeah, like he's like, oh, like it's an honor to have this woman in my presence. Like I would like him to think like that, not like she's so lucky to be with me. I feel like that's odd energy.
Well, isn't that precisely what you're expecting?
For him to think I'm so lucky that she agreed to say yes.
Well, I mean, you said that it should be an honor. The guy should view it as an honor that he's in your presence. Is it an honor when you're in their presence?
I think
like for you, oh, it's an honor to be in your presence, guy.
Well, I mean, the guy that I'm seeing now, when I went out with him for the first time, I was like, wow, like he's a great guy. Like I'm lucky to be able to spend time with him. I think ideally both people think that, but if the guy comes in thinking that himself, I feel like that's a little odd.
But how do you even get into that as a conversation piece? Like,
it's not a conversation. It's just energy.
It's just going out with someone. It's just enjoying each other's company. I guess I don't quite understand the whole they should be happy and lucky that I'm with them type thing. I think that almost puts ourselves too much on a pedestal.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. So, but going back to what you were saying, you said this is what the guy should be feeling towards me, but it would be odd if he had the same sort of expectation.
Expectation?
Didn't you say, I heard the words odd?
Yeah.
Yo, thank you,
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.01.
Thank you, man. Good to
see you. How many of the panel have perfected the hawk chewer technique? How is your spit on it game?
Bro, how you asking
Surveys
that?
show that a good hawk chewer can solve many relationship issues.
I disagree, Grid One.
You've never heard that?
A good...
Oh, that's a good thing.
No such thing as a good enough BJ to deal with a quarrelsome and nagging wife or girlfriend, but...
True.
Also, like it's not that any girl can spit. It ain't that hard. Like that's what the hawk tua is. It's literally just spinning.
You gotta say it how she said it.
He said it was just like hawk tua.
Hawk tua. I don't know.
I'm like, Brian,
you gotta put a little
get
bit
it together, man.
Any chick can do that. Like, I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Grid One, though. Appreciate it. What was his question? It was,
what are the expectations?
I don't think any of the girls are going to... No, we still need to go around on it. Yo, Duran, thank you for the gifted 10. Thank you, Grid One. Appreciate it. Are you liquored up, Grid One? What's going on, man? Okay. That was an uncharacteristic. That's a new one from Grid One. So going back to this... You said that it should be an honor for the man to be in your presence, but it would be odd if he wanted you to feel honored to be in
his presence.
Yeah.
I think that there's something about being a woman that men desire to have women around them. That's why clubs want a lot of women, because men like to be in spaces with a lot of women. Do women want to be in spaces with a ton of men? Not really. Like that's just how it is. Women are a desirable presence for men.
Well, I'm not sure I even agree with the premise here. So
we disagree on something?
Well, hold on. So I would argue, though, like, if this was actually the case, then all women nightclubs would be extremely popular. They would exist, but the reality is, like, the most popular, the most prestigious, the most desirable nightclubs, bars, women are going to these environments where there are men.
I don't think that, yeah, of course. Men also, it's not that women don't want to be around any men at all, but I'm just saying, in general, like, if men are like, oh, a ton of girls are going to be there, they're going to be like, ooh, I want to be there. But I don't think it's the same in the opposite direction of like, oh my God, there's going to be so many guys there, like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, it's different energetically.
I think it's kind of the same. Maybe men vocalize it more, but I think women are kind of thinking it in their heads.
That could be a generation thing too, because when I was in my 20s, I would have definitely gone someplace and there was going to be tons of guys.
Well, I think there's women just refuse to acknowledge that they have any interest in men. Or any women refuse to acknowledge. Let me clarify. Women will hold on. women will refuse to acknowledge that they do anything for the purpose of men. For example, when you wear makeup, it's not for men, it's for you, blah, blah, blah. If you wear certain clothing, it's not for men, it's for whatever reason. If you go to a certain event, it's not to meet, if you go out to bars and clubs and all this, it's not for the possibility of meeting men, it's to go have fun with your girlfriends. And while I don't disagree that that can be a component of it, to totally disregard the social component of going to these environments in the hope that you will potentially meet a guy, I think is cope.
Yeah, I never said that.
Right, but you're like, well, the girls, we just want to get together and we don't give a fuck if the guys are there or not.
I think that the point of this podcast is to be controversial, which means that things are going to be, you're going to obviously frame them for profitability as either black or white, when really it's a combination of both. Of course, like, women dress for themselves and for men. That's why we have a conversation about the male gaze and the female gaze. And as women, we're like, okay, I think it's good to be reflective. Like, am I dressing for men exclusively? And how can I do that less and like just dress for myself and try to decenter men? But of course, we want and need each other. And of course, women are doing things to attract men. And of course, men are doing things to attract women. But I feel like how we frame it and how we talk about it and what we emphasize really, contributes to our behavior.
So wait, women should decenter men?
I think so, yeah.
Should men decenter women?
I think that men are socialized to want to be powerful, whereas women are socialized to be good. It's very different in how we're socialized. Women are always socialized. Oh, how can I, serve men? How can I put everybody? Women are praised for putting every single person in.
I
in
reject
front.
your premise.
Yeah.
I reject the premise. For example, men, when they're growing up, are taught this is how you treat women. Men are told this. Women are never told when growing up, this is how you treat men. I actually think women are far more self-interested and self-centered. So to say that women are raised to, what did you say? They're good? To be good, and
Yeah,
men
to
are
be good.
raised, I don't know if you use the word
Socialized.
raised. Are socialized, women are socialized to be good, men are socialized to
Be powerful.
be powerful? I actually think men are socialized to
Yeah.
be good, and women are socialized to be self-interested.
Well, I guess we disagree.
We're definitely raised to be like ladylike, but not for the purpose of satisfying a man, just being ladylike.
But then I would also ask, if that's the case, because I'll often, and maybe you actually might have even brought this up on the last show, although I forget. If I say something like, well, men are negatively affected in this way, the rebuttal I'll often receive is, well, whose fault is that? It's other men's fault. But then I can actually just use this argument towards women. So can we agree that, I don't know what the exact number is, but there's a lot of single parent households. Agreed? And are these single parent households more often than not single mother households? Okay. And then when it comes to, let's say, kindergarten through 6th grade, we can even do, what's the proportion of female teachers to male teachers?
Probably more women.
More women. So all the influence that these young men have growing up is female influence in the household, where they spend most of their time, and then they're going to spend 8-9 hours a day in school, where the influence is female, not male. Typically, there's very fewer and fewer as the years go, male
Killer
teachers
of serial
in this
donated